Welcome to the Wrestling Replays. Kato here with your Wrestlemania replay night 1 on the day, because we'll have night 2 coming up tomorrow, and then we'll have to roll into of course Monday Night Raw and see how they finish up with WrestleMania weekend. Alright. Now, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump to everything that happened on night 1 of WrestleMania, and we're gonna do it all within 10 minutes, you know how we like to do. So the show kicked off, with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Bobby Lashley defending his world title against Drew McIntyre, the former champion. Now, this was an interesting match because it did two things, right? Bobby needed this win to solidify himself as a true champion. Look at the guys he fought to get the belt. It wasn't really like someone you're really knocking off the top of the mountaintop, you know what I'm saying? So he needed this win against Drew McIntyre to really solidify himself as a true champion. And he did that tonight. Now, granted, I know a lot of people are upset because they felt like Drew McIntyre was portrayed as weak, or they wanted Drew to win for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't think Bobby was a true champion. Now, let's go ahead and do the history real quick on Drew McIntyre. Right, he's had a hell of a run defeating Brock Lesnar, Big Show, same night, Randy Orton multiple times. He's had a hell of a run leading up to this match with Bobby Lashley. Now, we did a great job of building Drew McIntyre up, but once he defeats Bobby Lashley, where do you go from here? The problem was, after he defeated Randy Orton, where would he go? Edge wasn't the likely opponent for him to face Drew McIntyre. It just wouldn't work out, wouldn't have matched well to me personally. So I think Edge fighting Roman Reigns was the better choice. But how else can we build up another contender other than letting Drew McIntyre get defeated? Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre feud was so great, and we wanted to see it continue because it showed that Randy Orton on a certain night, hey, he could beat Drew McIntyre, right? And that's the same thing you got here with Bobby Lashley. I like Bobby Lashley winning. It solidified himself, and I like the way that he did it with MVP, kind of causing a little bit of interference. That gives Drew McIntyre the right to go back and be like, hey, you needed help from MVP just to beat me, so we should get a nice trilogy. Or if not a rematch, we could probably get a trilogy out of this one. I could see Drew McIntyre and getting the best of Bobby Lashley the next match, and then maybe we'll have a nice trilogy that caps off at SummerSlam with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre and whatever specialty match they need to have in order to really settle out their differences, right? So I like the fact that Bobby beat Drew. I like the fact that now Drew is solidified as the number 1 guy on Raw. Bobby is also solidified as a champion, and he is also on that top tier as the number 1 guy on Raw, because we don't have too many guys left. Randy Orton is locked into a feud with The Fiend, in which The Fiend has to win in order to become a contender for the title, no matter which guy have it. Because if he loses to Randy, that whole feud is done. Randy would jump right back into the world title picture, but we've already seen that. We need something fresh. We need something new. So I like the fact of Drew McIntyre losing. I like the fact that even with him getting put in a hurt lock and, temporarily passing out, he wasn't fully put to sleep like you've seen Bobby Lashley do to most of his other opponents in the past. So I like that, how they didn't make him look too weak. Others feel like they did. I don't personally think they made him look too weak, all right? Now, we had the tag team turmoil match. The winner of that was, it was Naomi, Lana, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Tamia, the Riot Squad, and Carmella and Billie Kay. Billie Kay is very entertaining for one, but they don't know what to do with her. Carmella's kind of caught in limbo. Bianca Belair has defeated every woman on the SmackDown roster leading up to her match with Sasha Banks. At least anyone who has any significance, right? Anyone who's actually like a top tier opponent. So Carmella now kind of just caught in limbo. So I like the fact that Natalya and Tamia actually won this tag team match because, for one, I love the fact they're 2 vets. They're not going to be on the singles scene. They're not going to be like the top opponents for anybody moving forward. So what do we do? What can we do with them? We have to go ahead and find a place for them, to be. And the tag team division, I feel like, worked best for these two because, 1, they're vets. 2, they seem to have chemistry. And 3, they don't have to have the best physical ability to beat other tag teams because they can use their veteran leadership inside the ring to outsmart their opponents, because they're supposed to have all the tools in the toolbox, but most of the opponents, they really don't, or they're newer tag teams and they haven't really gelled or meshed together well. So I think that's a good nod towards them. And we also seen last week on SmackDown, well, this week on SmackDown, that Nia Jax actually losing to Tamina. So that kind of solidifies and really builds some momentum going into this tag team championship match between the two. So I like the fact that they won. Now let's move on to Cesaro in his first ever one-on-one match at WrestleMania, which is crazy because he's a tremendous talent. But he went against Seth Rollins, and that match was absolutely amazing. I thought that match was going to be the match of the night, but Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair took place. But that match was absolutely amazing. The only thing missing from that match was maybe an Intercontinental title or something like that, or some type of stipulation where if the winner gets whatever, a title shot later on, or an Intercontinental title shot, something like that. Now Cesaro, he finally, I say this is definitely Cesaro's biggest win of his career, especially in his singles competition, because you defeat a guy like Seth Rollins, a former champion, a former tag team champion, Intercontinental, the list goes on, right? You defeat a guy like that at WrestleMania, that just solidifies you and moves you up a notch in that ranking system on SmackDown. He has to be in the top 5 ranking in SmackDown. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow within this year he's either thrust into the Universal title picture or he's thrust into the Intercontinental title picture. He definitely deserves it, and it was a hell of a match. So you know he's going to perform. That's never been an issue. Only problem with him is him staying healthy, really. And it's not like it's bad. It was been bad injuries that kept him out for a long time, but I don't feel like it's injuries that have lingered on and constantly happen again. So hopefully this put him where he should be at, and that upper echelon of the SmackDown roster, and he's going to be going to face some of those top tier guys sooner than later. I would love to see another push for Buddy Murphy as well. He's pretty amazing, and if you're not going to use Aleister Black, let's just go back to NXT, or, team him up with Buddy Murphy. They will probably be the best tag team you will have on your roster for a very long time. I know we got the Usos. I know we got New Day, and we got the tag champs right now, the Dirty Dogs and Street Profits. But the style of Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, their style complements each other so well. And I feel like they would look good together. They would fit together. So I would love to see if these two guys will actually do something together later on in the future. Now, speaking of tag teams, we're going to roll right into our tag team championship match between New Day, AJ Styles, and Omos. Now, I can't believe it that AJ Styles and Omos defeated the New Day. I'm not surprised, man. I like that it happened. I like the fact that when the big man finally got into the ring, these two guys had no answer for him. He can go down as one of the best dominant big men ever in wrestling. I'm saying it right now. He's fresh. He's a rookie. I'm saying it right now for the fact that he is massive. He looks like he's about 7'7" when you compare him to most of these regular guys, right? He's built. He's muscular. He's not fat. He's not like just a bulky big guy. He's muscular. So all he has to do really is come up with his little 5 to 6 moves that he really likes to do. And other than that, just dominate people. His matches shouldn't last no more than 2 to 3 minutes with the lower ranking guys, because he should be that dominant. Now, we have to really see how he looks inside the ring by light pairing with a veteran like AJ Styles, where AJ Styles can do most of the wrestling. He can, do most of the entertaining inside of the ring as far as that part, and then you tag it almost towards the end to have him pretty much finish off the matches. I think that's how those matches will continue to go, at least until almost gets better inside the square circle. But I don't mind them beating a New Day. I know New Day will definitely get back on the mountaintop soon. Well, I'm not going to say soon, but at some point for sure. But I don't mind seeing something fresh like that happening. I don't mind it being AJ Styles and Omos, and I like the fact that when this big man finally got into the ring, he actually delivered on, what you have him there for. Now, he does have a lot of work to do, but what I've seen so far, he's on the right track. Let's move on to Sheamus and Braun Strowman in the cage match. I thought that match was okay. It it was what we thought it was going to be. Shane getting thrown around, Shane doing some crazy spots. Shane McMahon he's fearless. I don't know how his career as a wrestler never really panned out, but he's fearless and he'll do anything. I just wish, that Shane doesn't, bombard himself into the WrestleMania matches. I don't think we needed a replacement. We could have seen Elias and Braun Strowman in some type of special match, or Jackson in some type of special match. Even if Braun would have teamed up with someone, I think that would have been just as good. But I'm not disappointed in Shane and Braun Strowman match. I just thought this match could have been better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like every step of the way you knew exactly what was going to happen. There's no way they was going to allow Braun to go into the cage fully healthy. Tools and weapons was getting pulled from all over the place. I felt like they should have said he planted these weapons up there versus he ripping them off and stuff like that. But these guys did what they were supposed to do. I thought it was an okay match. It ended like it was supposed to. Braun definitely needed that win because he needs to gain some momentum to get back on the roll when he heads back to Monday Night Raw. He finally get to put this feud behind him. So they did what they needed to do as far as that storyline. Now, Bad Bunny, Damian Priest versus the Miz and Morrison. I'm going to say this match was actually pretty good. Only for the fact that Bad Bunny, as far as him and the entertainers that I've seen before him, like into wrestling matches, he was the best. He took a lot of bumps. Of course, he had some hiccups, but, I mean, what do you expect? He's going to have hiccups. He's nervous. It's WrestleMania. You're in your first real wrestling match ever. So, smart by putting him in there with veterans like The Miz and Jay Morrison. So, I think Bad Bunny did pretty good. Of course, Damian Priest went in there and did what he was supposed to do. They won the match like they were supposed to do. And I think this put it into the chapter of The Miz and Bad Bunny. Now, Damian Priest can possibly move on and push himself into that United States title scene because he's one of those guys in NXT that we was waiting to move up, waiting to come up for. And now that he's finally on that main roster, I really want to see him shine. You know what I'm saying? I think he's one of those talents that's really, really good. So I really want to see what he can do. Well, we know what he can do, but I really want to see him get that good push that's needed for him in a singles competition now. I felt like for months you had him on the shelf or, kind of been, with Bad Bunny paired up, fighting here and there. But now it's time for him to actually start moving up that ranking system. And the placement of the match was great. It was a good placement where it wasn't going to be, too many highs or too many lows. It was a nice, mediocre, slow down the pace match because you had your main event coming right up with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Now, for me personally, I was nervous. I was so nervous for Bianca Belair because, like your main event in WrestleMania, right? You just got to the main roster, I feel like, not too long ago. And you already main event in WrestleMania. And you can see her, even when the match started, the emotions built up. And I like Sasha Banks because Sasha helped her. They didn't say anything, right? They didn't say anything, but she helped her deal with those emotions. Like, Sasha looked like she was proud for Bianca. Like, she knew what we was ready to do. It's like they knew they was ready to make history. And they did. They made history, main event, two black women main event in WrestleMania. And they stole the show. They had the match of the night at WrestleMania. Steph Rollins and Cesaro was second to me, but this was number one. These two tore the house down. Bianca Belair and Sasha did things, of course, we haven't seen women do before. And that's some of the things that these women has been doing in their matches. Not only has it been moves or sequences that we've never seen before by women, it's moves and sequences we've never seen before done at all. And these women are pulling it off. And it's amazing. Like, this match was awesome. Like, this was clearly the best match of the night, like, hands down. And a huge congratulations to Bianca Belair for, capturing her first singles title on the main roster. Huge shout out to Sasha Banks because it took two of y'all. Y'all tore the house down, don't get me wrong. But Bianca Belair, I'm excited to see what happens from here. I'm just confused on where it will go. I mean, it has to have a rematch because, on the way up, Bianca Belair, like I said earlier, she beat Natalya. She beat the Baileys. She beat the Carmellas. You don't have any top-tier women unless you're going to bring Io Shirai up and, maybe turn her heel and let her fight Bianca Belair. That would be, that could work. But at the same time, SmackDown right now just have too many heels. Like their top people are, well, top women. It's just too many heels right now. So I think someone needs to make a switch sooner or later, so we can really pan this thing out, so we can get a nice structure system, so we can build up a nice storyline for Bianca Belair and whoever her next opponent will be after her and Sasha Banks finish their feud. But all in all, man, WrestleMania Night 1, absolutely amazing. If you haven't caught it, or maybe you want to watch it all in one day, you're not going to be disappointed at all. Like, WrestleMania has held up. I like the fact that we got some fans back in the buildings. That energy was there that you were looking for. This was great. This was great. Me personally, looking to go to WrestleMania next year. Hopefully everything will be opened back up a little bit more. We'll, kind of know what's what and what's going on with COVID and that whole situation. But nonetheless, hats off to WWE and pulling off a great WrestleMania. Hats off to everyone that took place on WrestleMania night number 1. I'm looking forward to night number 2. That takes place in about a couple of hours. So to let you know about when I'm recording this, and I'll record that video probably when I go off the air, so that you'll have it for Monday night before Monday Night Raw comes on. All right, but let me know what you guys think about WrestleMania Night 1. Let me know what you think about WrestleMania Night number 2. Who are your predictions to win? What do you want to see happen? Drop it in the comments down below. DM me. I'll answer all your DMs back, and I'll talk about what you said in your DMs on the show like I do all the time. So just let me know what you guys think. As far as night 2, I'm really looking forward to that triple threat match, and I'm looking forward to The Fiend and Randy Orton. If The Fiend does not win this match against Randy Orton, you might as well just cut The Fiend. You might as well find something else for Bray Wyatt to do. Let him disappear for another 6 months. Come back and reinvent himself as someone else. He's a great wrestler and a great character, so he's easily able to, I feel like, go in between characters and nail it every time. But I'm really looking for The Fiend. He has to win this match in a dominant fashion. Like, he has to put Randy on the shelf. That's what I'm looking for tonight, mainly in night 2 of WrestleMania. All right? So, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you all there. Well, I'll see you all a little back here later on, right? I'm Kato. I'm signing out. Peace.